I know what you're here for. The second part of the Gamay Show. If you haven't checked out the first part, get your butt over there and do that. I'll try to put a link here somewhere. And on this episode, we're going to be drinking the Gamay that I introduced to you in the last episode. All that, so much more on this episode of The Average Wine Enthusiast. Hi there, everybody. My name's Mike LaPlante, and I'm the Average Wine Enthusiast. On this episode, we're going to be drinking some Gamay. If you watched part one of the Gamay Show, you know that Gamay can run the gamut as far as quality goes, and it all is based on where it is grown. Gamay is one of those grape varietals that picks up a lot of its characteristics from the soil it is grown in. So today we're going to try three different versions of a Gamay. We got a Beaujolais, Beaujolais Cru, and a Canadian Gamay that we're going to be drinking. We're going to see what the differences that exist between them. But let's get right into introducing what the wines are that we're going to be drinking today. The first Beaujolais that we're going to be trying is a generic entry-level Beaujolais. It's just Beaujolais AOP. And as you can read on the label, it was bottled by Jean Gamet. It was somewhere between $17 and $18, and it has 12.5% alcohol by volume. The second bottle of Gamay that we're going to be tasting is from the Beaujolais Cru, known as Moulin A Vent. And that's from the Domaine Anita winery, and they call this wine the Reine de Nuit. It was $30, and it has a 13% alcohol by volume. The next Gamay we're going to be drinking is from 2027 Cellars on the 20 Mile Bench in the Niagara region. It is the 2020 vintage, and this bottle of wine costs $30 and is 12.5% alcohol by volume. One thing that we notice right off the get-go is the different colors between the three different versions of Gamay. The Beaujolais seems to be more like a medium garnet, whereas the Beaujolais Cru, that's quite purple, a medium purple probably, and the Canadian Gamay is a light or a pretty deep pink color. So that's the first differences we're going to notice right off the get-go. Okay, as you can see, there are different colors involved in the different versions of the Gamay, which is pretty interesting. So why don't we give the generic Beaujolais, which isn't a very nice name, but it's definitely generic, a little whiff. Not as aromatic as I thought it would be. Smells a little bit like double bubble. Yeah, bubble gum. Maybe a little raspberry. And not quite ripe bananas. Let's give it a taste. The acidity is right up there, nice acidity, which of course makes for a nice finish. I was also expecting less tannins or the tannins to be softer, but they're there. Tannins are there. A very nice mouthfeel, much better than I thought it would be. Kind of making wonder what these are going to be like. But there's red berries in here, a little bit of pomegranate maybe. Yeah. Not a bad wine at all. So let's grab the second Beaujolais, which is the Moulin A Vent Cru. Whoa! That is super floral. Violets in my nose. Love it. Some red cherries. Maybe a little bit of banana in there as well. And some mushroom. It's got many of the same characteristics of a Pinot Noir. It's like its daddy. Let's give it a taste. Interestingly enough, the acidity in here is less than the Beaujolais, but the tannins are there for sure. Grippy as heck. Some pomegranate in there. Red berries. Raspberries. Delicious wine. This would pair very nicely with some meaty dishes, that's for sure. Awesome mouthfeel. Delicious wine right here. Definitely a step up in quality from the Beaujolais AOP to the Cru as well. The price says it should be better. It's definitely more complex and a little more elegant. Easy drinking, more of a slow sipper. And then we're going to try the 2020 Gamay Noir from 2027 Cellars, which I drank at the tasting room at 2027 Cellars and thought it was good enough to buy a bottle. Not quite as aromatic as I thought it would be. But again, cherries, a little bit of bubble gum. Maybe a little bit of smoke as well. Not sure what their oak treatment was on the Gamay, but pleasant enough on the nose. Let's give it a taste. That is delicious. Again, the aromas do not reflect the taste. Beautiful. The acidity is right up there, and tannins, oh yeah. Grippy. I'm thinking this could have sat for at least another 5 years, and it'd be just fine. Probably the same holds true probably for this as well. They're both 2020s, and yeah, they could have went well into 2028, 29 maybe. Definitely some pomegranate and some floral characteristics. And a little bit of forest floor in there as well. Again, another great Gamay. These two here, rock stars. They made, they know how many cases they made of this? It's right on the back of the on the back label. 278 cases of this wine. That's a small lot. I'm trying to think how many cases are in a barrel. Yeah, so small batch for sure. I'm guessing they made a few more barrels than that of the Moulin A Vent Beaujolais Cru. So there you have it. I highly recommend that you pick yourself up a bottle of Gamay if you can find it. Gamay is one of those varietals that is not necessarily readily available. Here at the LCBO, I did a little shopping around, as it were, to see the availability of Gamay, and I could not find one Canadian Gamay there. I have seen Gamays in my local liquor store from 13th Street and Bachelder as well. I think I'm pronouncing that properly. And definitely you're not going to find any 2027 Gamay at the liquor store because, hey, they only made 278 cases. That doesn't go very far, does it? But as far as Beaujolais goes, though, you go into your French aisle, you will be able to find some Beaujolais AOP for sure, and some Beaujolais Village, just in the French aisle, otherwise known as France. So yeah, Gamay, definitely, if you're into red wine and you want to try something different, something that has fruit notes to it, but it isn't a sweet, fruity wine. All three of these wines are dry as you would want if you're a fan of dry wine like I am. Definitely something to consider. You drink Gamay, you will bring your palate to a different place in your wine journey, and that's really what it's all about, because you want to come across wines that really blow your mind every once in a while, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is to develop your palate in such a way that it can recognize something that is really kick-ass. And by getting some Gamay, going to a varietal that maybe you're not used to, even though this one has many of the characteristics of its dad, the Pinot Noir. And if you're a fan of Pinot Noir, I mean really a fan of Pinot Noir, you're going to be digging Gamay as well. So I guess that's going to do it for this episode. I'd like to thank you for watching the show. And if you know folks who are in the same boat as you watching videos on YouTube about wine, please turn them on to the Average Wine Enthusiast. I really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. That's a big thing. Please subscribe. I finally reached a certain plateau in my subscriptions, and I'm happy about that, but I think we have a long way to go as far as educating all those folks out there who don't know it, but they want to know more about wine. I'd also like to thank the Big Organ Trio for letting me use their music in the show. Until next time, my name is Mike LaPlante, and I'm the Average Wine Enthusiast. Salute!